Right, before we go out in the boat, quick update. Now, I've actually moved the boat around, getting ready to work on that, although I can't really show you because it's pitch black out there. Well, I can show you if you really want to see. As you can see, nothing. And it's blowing a gale out here, and it's, well, it's very gusty at the moment, and it's keeps raining all the time. It's just not nice. I had planned to go out and do the squid thing a few nights back, but the calm weather turned into a raging 4/7, and it just didn't stop raining. You should have heard the rain. It was like a monsoon out there, so that went out the window. This thing I showed you the other day as well, this switch, I said about, I might have briefly mentioned that I thought that that wasn't quite right. Well, it wasn't. So I looked it up, and it was supposed to be a single one, but with a voltmeter, and it's a fast charge one, or was. Basically what they'd done is they'd sent me this one, which was like a £7 cheaper one. So I sent them a message, and they basically refunded me the extra cost, so that's alright. I'm quite happy to use that one. It still does the same trick. Now, yeah, like I say, so the boats come round, and as some of you will know, I was going to do a computer in here. I was going to set up a computer, do a live streaming setup in the shed, then we can do streams from the shed now and again. When we're doing stuff, you know, maybe when we're fixing engines or just like this, just doing nothing. But at the moment I'm waiting for the chip still, the processor. There's supply and demand issue at the moment with the new ones, so I mean it doesn't matter, it's no rush, I'll wait. You can pick them up, but you'd have to buy them through scalpers, and I'm not paying double the price for something to somebody who's just bought them all up and then tried to sell them on to make a pure profit out of it. So yeah, so I'm going to wait on that a little bit, but there's no rush. Like I say, we'll get there. And the internet is now in the process of being sorted out. The phone has been changed over, and we're moving up to higher speed broadband, not high speed broadband, because our broadbands here aren't that fast really, but it should be enough. So that, like I say, then hopefully it'll be a better connection as well, because we are right on the edge here of where the signal comes from. And this is the trouble with the shed. If I was to do it with the phone, it's possible I could lose the signal. So, and I don't really want to go up to the satellites, because that's very expensive here to do that, or you go on contracts and all that sort of stuff, and I'm not doing that. So, you know, I'm a poor fisherman. I can't afford to do these things. So that's the way it goes, especially the way I fish. Anyway, today's video is going to be, it's going to be a nice day video. Basically, it was a lovely weather out there. And if you're in my neck of the woods at the moment, you know we've got raging storms, we've got pouring rain all the time. So I thought I'd put something up with nice weather to brighten everybody's day up. And for anybody who isn't in my area or end of the world, if you have got nice weather, well, a lot going on in the world at the moment, so just thought it'd be nice to look at something a bit more relaxed and calm and nice and cheer people up, hopefully. Anyway, let's go and see what it's all about out on the water. Lovely morning. It's a shame there's no fish out there. It's always the way it is though. Yeah, still no fish. I mean, it's been a couple of weeks now and there's just nothing really. I mean, there's the odd fish, you get the odd bass, maybe the odd mackerel, but in general, real quiet as far as the fishing goes. A few lobsters feeding, and that's about it. And if there was any fish in here, you'd certainly be able to see them today, or anything that got near the surface. Anyway, we're going to go out and check the pots, and we'll have a sort of look around. If I see anything, any fishy signs, then we'll do some fishing, but to be honest, I don't think it's worth it. I say we tried yesterday, we had the one bass, and that was pretty much it, didn't have anything else. I mean, we didn't fish a long time, but then I know there's no fish there, so, you know. That's the thing with fishing, it's being about being in the right place at the right time and knowing when there's fish around, or when they're feeding. And at the moment, that just isn't the case. Here comes the sun, and here you'll notice there's one plain trail, another one up there. They're starting to come back. Before you know it, the sky will be white again, with layers and layers of them. Right. Tell you what, it's lovely and clear. it's really nice when it's like this. It's just like I say, it's not always the best for fishing. Because obviously I suppose fish have a holiday as well. Downdraft coming off the cliffs here. It's lovely on a hot day like this. I don't often say that with wind, but this is nice. So we got our pots here. We got one over there somewhere. One's over there. Might be hard to see because it's a little bit. Now I don't normally pot here because I never really catch anything here. But there is one or two rocks here where you do get a lobster or two, and usually there's a commercial line or two running across here as well. So, but I don't think there is at the moment. There's one over there, I know that, but not here. And like I say, all the hot spots around the south coast this year have produced, well, all apart from one, have produced nothing, pretty much. And this area never really catches, so I thought, well, what the hell, let's try it, eh? It might have gone in reverse. Front. Got to try this. Trouble these gloves they get holes eventually, and get wet hands all the time. The other thing you got to watch out, if you use wires, when you push wires through bait, sometimes they go into the gloves. You got to watch they don't go in your hand, but quite often you catch the glove and that's the one. Won't we here? This is a big question. I'm going to say there's a chance, but don't hold your breath. So I have potted here over the years, and like I say, I've never done that well. I've had the odd lobster, occasionally you'll hit a patch where you'll get like 2 lobsters, and every other time. But like I say, because all the good areas have been so bad this year, maybe bad areas are good. There is a lobster in there, not a very big one, but at least caught something. Not worth having. That's what I was expecting. Absolutely nothing. The trouble with this place is I have snorkeled and free dived here, and it's very flat rock, and then you've got like big wells that go down the rock, but it's not good for lobsters and things, you know. It doesn't have the holes in that. Now there's a short, we have a swimmer in there. I might try for a rocky. Let's I'll think about it. There's no fish, we go wrasse fishing. There's normally wrasse around. Well, that worked out okay. Got at least one. Nice. There's another one in there as well, but I think it's probably just under that one. Again, empty pot. Like I say, it's got to be right on the right spot, you know. Around here anyway. This pot here, I don't know if you can see that pot, it's one of the smallest pots I've got, and when I first put this out years ago I had a slightly smaller neck in it, and it caught a 6.5 pound lobster, that pot. So it shows you don't need great big pots to catch lobsters. I mean, we just had these two in there. It's open, there's no trap or anything in it. This I think might be under there. And it's taken one of my biggest lobsters. Yeah, that's just under that one. So that one will be size. Right, I think we're going to prospect with these a little bit, go in around the rocks and cliffs and just see if there's anything of interest up that way. We want to be just down the side. There's a big ass checking us out. He didn't think that I saw him because he went down very quickly, but I saw him. The 30, which is coming up now. There we go. This is where we want the pot. Right here. Guaranteed to catch. Guaranteed, he says. Assuming there's some holes there. But no, this is the rock I did a pot off. Really long rope, small pot. Nice brown crab out of it, but that was kind of it. And it was such hard work pulling the pot off around there, I didn't bother after that. Catch. Right, so I thought we'd take a look in here. This is, got a lobster in there. This is, when I was a kid, I used to come fishing in here. You know, wrasse, congers, I've had pout, pollock, never had bass in here though. Down here, there are certain places you could fish, this is one of them. We used to go snorkeling in here as well, you used to get some real big spider crabs. And this is the very first place I ever fished down the cliffs as a kid. Right here. There should be a sandy gullion. Well, it's hard to see. We used to fish off that rock there. If you can see that. Yeah, you'll see it in a minute, that rock there. And behind you as well, there's another one. But you had to walk right round. It was always a pain having to walk all the way around to that spot. But there is a sandy gullion. I mean, the first trip I ever came here as a child, I came down here and I had, I always remember it, 3.5 pound rockfish, pout, and a few other rockfish, and it was amazing for the first time, you know, catching fish like that. And then, yeah, we've been down here for congers. We had loads one time. I think we had about 7 or 8 congers down here, up to around 30 pounds in this particular spot. And off this rock here, used to get some really big pollock. One trip we did down here of an evening, it was just crazy. We were spinning, we were getting pollock after pollock. Just before dark it was. And I think it's one of the only places I've caught cuckoo wrasse off the shore as well in here. Now it should be broken ground, there should be a sand gully, and then it should be rocks over there and up that way under the water, because I have snorkeled here before. We've had sort of 6 pound spider crabs out this spot. One night we came here, well not night but in the evening. Something was having a go, but I missed it. Yeah, we came here one late afternoon and we're snorkeling down there and the whole seabed was just full of giant spider crabs. I mean, absolute giants. And we couldn't get down very easy because it was getting too deep. And we did actually get some, and they were sort of 4 to 6 pound crab. Came back the next day on a lower tide to make sure we got here early, because obviously the tide was getting deep. I couldn't find a single crab. It all moved. But what a sight to see it. Thousands and thousands of giant crab just walking around the seabed. Go for a look about. We'll head out and we're going to do the deep water pot, and I've got another set to do further over, another set further over, then probably another set, and that'll be it I think. And I might drop a line on the way around if I think there might be a fish, or just a test really. Sets I think that we're going to do over there. There's a single pot in the bay as well. Maybe it wasn't where I wanted it. Nothing in that pot at all. All the bait's gone. Might have been taken by conger if it was a bit fresh. Wow, I mean the pots today are, look at that, I mean that huge chunk of bait in there, and there's that, and a tiny little chunker. Oh, there's a fish as well. Oh, I saw something flopping around. Little tiny fish. Right there. go, another random leaf and drop set. If you're wondering why random leaf drop sets, I start off every year going on marks, catching lobsters, that sort of thing. And then once that's sort of fished, I'll move on to, like now, this time of year, I just put experimental pots everywhere. Just seeing what's about, different places, looking for maybe a big lobster, maybe a crayfish, a big crab, just sort of generally random drops, because or in places that you don't really catch much, but every so often you'll get something really nice there, but it's not worth leaving pots there all the time sort of thing. There's a little one in there and that's it. Maybe under. Yeah. Just that one. But at least it has something in it. But they've been feeding on the outside of the pot. Look, the bait's been too close to the top. There we go. And that is why I do experimental pots from time to time, because occasionally you get nice lobster. Right. Another empty pot. Seems to be a theme today. These close ones, the ones close in, most of them will get retired this year. I had to stretch the use out on them because of the because I lost so many last year at the end of the year. That would have been a legal crab, that, but it's only got one claw. But probably wouldn't have bothered with it anyway, so doesn't matter. You know what, this pot can have the head because it's got a wire and not much else. In fact, there you go, 4 lobsters. This one here is going to be right on the size, isn't it? Yeah. You know, that one there again, it's right on the size limit, so we'll let that one go as well, like we did yesterday. Take his chances in the bay, somebody might pick him up. And they'll be happy that they got a lobster. So, we got those 3, it's good enough. They're nice big ones. I say big ones, medium. I mean, lobsters, when you say big, I mean, you know, you class a 2-pound lobster as big, but seriously, lobsters can grow to 15 pounds or something ridiculous if they're left long enough. But you're not likely to see them. Not in this day and age. Right. I'm going back in. It might be a lovely, lovely day, and you might think it's a lovely day for fishing. Well, it's a lovely day for boating, but it's certainly not a lovely day for fishing. because you need fish for it to be a lovely day to be fishing. But for boating, you don't need the fish.